back here with anatomical analogies. We aren't going to have as much analogies with as many analogies with this section because we're discussing phospholipids, so it's pretty much just understanding and comprehending the information here. But we'll try to make it as simple as possible and make it all as understandable as possible here. We are going to have the help of a little handy dandy drawing. I do apologize for my third grade penmanship. I never surpassed the third grade in writing skills. But phospholipids, they are the primary molecule of the cell membrane, so they are somewhat similar to triglycerides in their chemical formula and how the actual molecule bonds together, but there is a slight difference which does make a world of difference here. So phospholipid, we'll start with it's formed via dehydration synthesis and broken down via hydrolysis. So dehydration synthesis, you take one glycerol, two fatty acids, and a phosphate group. You remove 3 water molecules, so take the 3 water molecules out, and we do have a phospholipid formed. Now, so if you want to break down the phospholipid, it's going to be hydrolysis. So you're going to add those 3 water molecules back into the phospholipid. It's a reversible reaction. So, and then add the water molecules to the phospholipid. Guess what we yield? We yield 1 glycerol, 2 fatty acids, and then this phosphate group here. So we'll look at a drawing and go from there. So essentially, a phospholipid is a diglyceride with a phosphate group, attached. But a phosphate group does make the world of difference here. So phosphate group is highlighted in pink here. So let's look at the glycerol first. So this is the glycerol. We already know what that is. It's the carbon, 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 hydrogen. There's hydroxyl, hydrogen, hydrogen. That's all added to the glycerol there, and then there's 2 fatty acids. So we discussed that already in the prior episode. So this is a fatty acid, this is fatty acid, this is a glycerol, and then we also do have this phosphate group attached. So phosphate group is phosphorus. That's that phosphorus with 2 hydroxyls attached. So hydroxyl, hydroxyl. We got the double bonded oxygen there, and then we have this R group. So the R group, it's called a radical, and what that means, it can be anything. So it's essentially a wild card. So like I mentioned, this phospholipid is formed via dehydration synthesis. So we need to remove a water molecule here. So that's 3 water molecules. Remove those, and then we'll form that phospholipid. So this glycerol plus 2 fatty acids plus the phosphate group bind together. They remove the 3 water molecules, and then this big phospholipid molecule is formed. So after dehydration synthesis, there's no more hydroxyls left because the H2O molecules are removed in order to form that larger compound here. So phospholipids, they are the primary molecule of the cell membrane. It's a glycerol plus 2 fatty acids plus a phosphate group, and remember, a phosphate group is that central phosphorus, a double bonded oxygen, a hydroxyl, another hydroxyl, and then an R group. So this phosphate group, double bonded oxygen, hydroxyl, hydroxyl, R group, which can be anything, and that's all attached to that glycerol molecule. So as a reminder, 1 glycerol plus 2 fatty acids plus 1 phosphate group does remove water, 3 water molecules, in fact, to yield a phospholipid molecule, which is the primary molecule of the cell membrane. If you have any questions, please just comment below, and we'll get it all sorted out to make sure your understanding is to its most possible capabilities, put it that way. It's once you start working with it more, it does begin to make more and more sense. So if you don't understand it right off the bat, keep practicing with it, keep looking at it, keep kind of working with it, and it'll click, I guarantee you.